I'm Alistair Heath and I'm responding to some of the excellent reader comments on my latest article, and we begin with a comment from Pete Smith, who says, I respect the outcome of the election and the democratic mandate Labour has. I regret Labour's victory but accept it. There's nothing undemocratic about what the government is doing. So thank you, Pete, for that. Like you, I also respect the outcome of the election, and I accept the fact, of course, that the Labour Party's got a democratic mandate, but where we differ is that I do think there's something undemocratic about what the government is doing. I think there's two undemocratic things. First, what it's doing when it comes to the Brexit betrayal was not in the manifesto. I think it breaches the manifesto, right? I mean, the manifesto basically said we wouldn't join the single market and the customs union and so on, but in part we are rejoining parts of the single market in the sense that Labour is now going to allow the EU to dictate lawmaking in certain areas, and of course that's not democratic in my view, because those laws won't be put through Parliament. So now, next comment is from James Neal. James Neal asks, there are 4 more years of Labour, but neither the Tories or Reform have anything constructive to offer. Oh, and Brexit hasn't delivered, though there's no point banging on about it. So James, thank you for that. You're right, there's 4 more years of Labour. I don't quite agree that neither the Tories nor Reform have anything constructive to offer. They are the opposition. The Tories are the official opposition, and Reform are increasingly the de facto opposition. I think they have a lot to offer. I think the Tories are saying a lot of interesting things, but nobody is listening to them. Reform are not being particularly detailed in what they're saying, but a lot of people are listening to them, and a lot of people think, you know, Tories and Labour have both failed, so now it's the time to try Nigel Farage. When you say Brexit hasn't delivered, so there's no point banging on about it, obviously I disagree. Brexit has delivered a profound change, which is self-government. Right? We return to self-government, and our politicians and our courts have been deciding our future. They haven't done very well, of course, and there's not been a radical break with the past in most areas. I regret that. I think the benefits of Brexit haven't been leveraged, and I blame the Conservative Party and the Labour Party for that. But Brexit was delivered, there was a really big change, and we should bang on about it. The next question is from OT. OT says, as the EU Defence Pact is made from the EU budget and not the UK, it is right that the UK may have to pay a fee to access it. And no, I disagree. I think it is absurd that we should be asked to pay a fee, given that we actually defend the EU with our oversized NATO contribution and our activism when it comes to the defence of Europe. So for a start, I think that's completely wrong. I think we should have leveraged the fact that we're helping so much to obtain a better deal from the EU in the first place when we left the EU. And secondly, I think there's no such thing as a trade deal where you've got to pay a fee before you can start trading, right? No other country in the world does that. No countries sign deals of this nature. It's an absurdity, this idea that we can only sell weapons to EU countries if we join some fund and pay a fee for it. That's completely wrong. And I think once again we've been taken for a ride because Starmer's got an inferiority complex when it comes to the UK. He thinks the UK needs to be this small vassal, a vassal state controlled by the EU. He doesn't believe in our independence, and he doesn't believe that we are strong enough to stand on our own 2 feet. Also, he and others don't value the massive contribution we make to the defence of Europe, and I think that is extremely irritating, to be honest. So, as always, thank you to all our subscribers for your comments. Keep them coming, please, and as always, we will try and get back to as many of you as possible. Thank you.